Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video and welcome to another high rating spectate. So today I believe we're in Master on West and we're watching Renekton. Now this may surprise some people, but Renekton has been a bit of a topic conversation in my community, especially the Twitch community, for a little while. Because as many people may know, I do not immediately rate champions like Renekton. Champions that are more known not for scaling, more known for their early game. I just think their time of League of Legends has kind of passed a bit, unless you're in very much coordinated play and you can take advantages of their strengths. And what we're going to see here is a Renekton in a solo queue game and see what happens. Now, what I actually think you're supposed to do with a Renekton or even like a Pantheon in top lane, and why some people do consider them okay still, and why pro play can consider these champions okay, is because if you use their early game advantage, which a Renekton clearly has or a Pantheon clearly has, you use that advantage as especially like a jungler, and you help them. You actively go to their lane, you actively gank for them, you actively get them kills. Then you get a Renekton or you get a Pantheon or something of that nature, you get them basically an item ahead. And it doesn't really matter if they don't scale as well. If at 20 minutes they're an item or more ahead, it's irrelevant they're scaling because they can take over a game. A Renekton or a Pantheon, they're very high pressure champions. So a Renekton who is very strong in a team fight can dash through a team fight, can go to different champions, can burst an AD carry, can survive a lot. You know, their survivability is not bad. They can do all of those things. Or, which again, I don't know the perfect result of this game. I don't know how the result happens. He's against an Udyr. Now, Udyr has just been reworked. He's not a top laner. So I'm personally expecting Renekton not to have the most difficult time with an Udyr in lane. It's also worth knowing he's against a Renekton early game prowess champion, and Udyr has started tier. So that's never going to be the strongest start also for an Udyr. So we'll see what happens. Level 2 has been hit by Renekton. No immediate all-in has happened. He's just trying his best to control the lane. With, Udyr's W, he's actually not taking that much damage and all of that good stuff. So that's not bad at all. In an all-in, though, nice W. Reminding people, Renekton W, empowered W, does get rid of shields nowadays. So that's going to be a nice little counter to the turtle stance of Udyr, partially. But so far, there's not been any major thing that this Renekton has seemingly been able to do. But maybe it's Renekton is waiting for his moment. So right now, I'd say the Udyr is a little bit potentially overextended. And there you go. So that right there is the early game of what we've mentioned with Renekton. It is worth mentioning also that if that Udyr didn't have a tier and he had a Doran's, either a Doran's Blade or hell, even a Doran's Shield, that could have been completely different. But Renekton is going to try and take that kill. That's the type of champion he is. Also worth reminding everybody, Blade of the Ruined King is one of the strongest items in the game, has been for quite a while, and for some reason Riot just refuses to nerf it. And even champions like Renekton now are building Blade of the Ruined King. And that's going to be a pretty damn good item against the likes of Udyr, who builds a lot of health. You can see his item right now, his first kind of purchase after the initial one, is health. So Renekton, I nearly could guarantee, is going to rush Blade of the Ruined King. And that's kind of just how strong Blade is people are ignoring mythic items as first choices and buying Blade. And Renekton isn't a perfect Blade of the Ruined King user as well. He's half auto attack, sure, but he's very ability based. Usually Blade of the Ruined King is more auto attack centric champions. You wouldn't really see a Riven by a Blade of the Ruined King. So lane is now pushing in the opposite direction of what Renekton would like. Again, to maintain lane control and hell, even a lot of kill pressure hits. Level 5, going to go for a bit of an all-in on the Udyr. Just a nice little combo there. Udyr is actively trying to trade, but Renekton can heal quite a nice amount up with an empowered Q. And now with a pushed-in wave, Udyr could be in trouble, because this is the other thing that I've mentioned time and time again. How would you make something like a Renekton work? You do need your jungler, and look what's happening right now. He's got the Udyr low, and he's having his jungler come dive. That's what you need. So it's for the same thing of like within my own Clash team. And meanwhile, there's going to be a little situation here, not big enough for the enemy team. Unfortunately, the E misses for Talia, but she probably doesn't matter. Gets the auto attack. He levels up. He takes a big hit. Renekton, do not risk it. You're going to die. Oh, no, you're not. He will end up surviving that. And there you go. That's the whole point. That's how you push an advantage with Renekton. So as I was saying, my own Clash team, We obviously have Shmion in top lane, great top laner. He likes Renekton. He's playing more of the champion, and I think he wants to play more Renekton even in Clash. If we want to play Renekton in Clash, this is the type of thing we need to do. We need our jungler, Blindy Boom, to go top lane in the early game to extend that lead. You need to work to that lead. And the way that you have to make that happen, well, you either have to go the route of a very aggressive bot lane, so like a Draven Pike that can win most lanes with their eyes closed, so the jungler doesn't need to go bot lane to gank because they're going to win it anyway. Or you do the complete opposite of got a really high range passive lane, kind of like a Caitlyn Ashe. You know, yes, I'm saying Ashe support, I know, crazy, but that's the kind of safe lane that you need. Is, oh, we're not going to get ganks, so we either are so strong we don't need them, or we're so passive and so high range that even if they gank us, we're safe. And then mid lane is kind of the same thing. You just need a safe mid laner, because the whole point of something with like an Udyr is you gank for him in the early game, you let him build his lead, you keep doing it, by the way. You don't stop. Like, Talia should still go top lane, even though she's done one gank and they got both jungler and top. Keep doing it. You do it for a while. You do it until Renekton is at least one item ahead. That's the whole point. So he's hitting a big combo here, and he's getting the kill. He hasn't even ulted. He needs to ult. There you go. Ults for the health, and will survive. So now he's just snowballing, and this is the exact thing you have to do to make Renekton work. And this is what I miss. I love Renekton. The sad thing with the Renekton is the fact that if you don't snowball the early game, or if your jungler doesn't come in the early game, you know, if that example there, that Talia didn't come for that tower dive, and Renekton wanted Udyr to die, in likeliest thing, Renekton would have got ganked by Wukong, he would have died, and then game over. Because that's the other thing, is how do you beat something like Renekton if you're not an early game centric champion? Your jungler goes top lane in the early game. You camp a Renekton, you take his strong area, camp him, make him weaker, and then something like an Udyr, again, I'm not as sure with Udyr's scalings, but most top laners, say you're playing a Jax, or a Darius, or a Fiora, they're going to outscale a Renekton in a pure 1v1. So if your jungler goes top lane and calms down that Renekton, it doesn't enable him to snowball, well, that then takes away the Renekton's power. But if your jungler keeps going top lane, then you're either just getting kills in the 2v1, or you're then fighting 2v2, which then with the Renekton's early game pushes you over the edge. So that's kind of the whole point. This is the example of how so far you make a Renekton work. It is worth mentioning, like I mentioned at the beginning, you know, there's only so many replays that I can get. I did do a bit of research to try and find a decent one, but he is against an Udyr top. Obviously, I don't really think Udyr top is going to be incredibly strong, unless it's just come out the woodwork that it is. I doubt it. He's not going to exactly have the dueling pressure of a Renekton, especially that maybe if he went the claw stance he would, but it looks like this guy's going Phoenix stance, so he doesn't even have that power over a Renekton. So it is more of an early, like an easy lane, but that's also the thing. If you've got a free lane on Renekton, I've seen Renektons in my own games have relatively free lanes, and they don't take the advantage. They don't snowball. They go even. Or maybe they're a little bit ahead in farm, but they don't kill their opponent. You've got to kill the opponent. You've got to really get that lead going. So you can actively see the Udyr is trying to trade. And honestly, for 2 levels down, that Udyr didn't actually trade that badly. They roughly evenly traded health. So again, not absolutely terrible. But Udyr, I would say, is in trouble. Renekton ulti, he missed his Q timing. But once again, what's happening? Oh, his team is top lane. That's the whole point that I'm saying every time, is that's how you make a Renekton carry your game, is you keep going top. The Sylas now is coming top. It's the lane that you want to put pressure into. And that's the kind of why I think also something like Renekton hasn't been doing that well in solo queue, is because top lane, for the most part, in 90% of league games, is the completely ignored lane. No jungler really goes to top. Why do they not go to top? Because it's the other side of the map to dragons, which is a lot of the strength of the game. That's partially why it's top. And then for Rift Herald, you don't really need to go top lane to get Rift Herald. You just don't. So, yeah, it's more or less the ignored lane. And that's the point, is you don't want to ignore a lane with Renekton in it. And that goes for both sides. As we said, if you've got Renekton on your team and you're the jungler, even mid laner, go and help him early. Get him extending that lead. Or there's a Renekton against your top laner. Again, go there early, shut him down. But again, you do if you go gank a Renekton in the early game, you are having the risk of having a 2v2 fight, and most combos, most 2v2 combos, the side with Renekton should win the early game. So as mentioned, Blade of the Ruined King first purchased by Renekton. Again, not a perfect synergy item for him, it's just the item is that strong. And he's also against an Udyr who's going to be building health tank, so Blade is also a good item against him, naturally. I also think, by the way, you know, Riot, they've tried, it's somewhat, but we all know that a lot of champions are buying tank stuff at the moment, because ultimately it's not really affecting their damage too negatively. So Udyr, he got CC immune, but look at the damage. So this is the whole point. Use your advantage. And he does use the flash. I don't think he was going to get it if he didn't flash. I think Udyr did have just the movement speed to get away, but that's the point. He's not some champions. If you're playing a late game carry like Kayle, you might not flash for that kill because you're like, I'll be a bit more reserved. I won't blow my flash there. I'll let him get away. Yes, I could kill him, but I'll let him get away because, hey, I get tower plates. He's going to have to go back. I'm going to get a few minion waves for free. Yeah, on a Renekton, you take that kill. You use that flash. You have to keep snowballing. That's the point. So this is how you play Renekton. So like that might be the video title. How to play Renekton in Season 12. This. Play aggressive. Try to win your 1v1. The thing that is out of your hands is have a jungler that comes top lane. Partially, I would say that is actually needed to play Renekton. Udyr, again, he has CC immunity. Thinking that he can just walk past Renekton, I will say, is a little bit... he's actually going to kill him. Mistake by Renekton. Renekton could have killed the Udyr there, but he had to be a bit more patient, and he wasn't patient. So that's actually a pretty big mistake by the Udyr. That's a big shutdown. How much was that? A total 800 gold for that Udyr. That's a lot. You know, that's the type of thing that takes a scaling champion, and I'm not saying that Udyr is going to be that one, but that if you were against a Jax and you just let that mistake happen against a Jax, that could be game-changing. Now, again, like we mentioned throughout this match, what about Renekton and how to make him work? You have a jungler that's paying attention. You have a jungler that's coming top lane. Renekton dies. He makes a mistake. Yes, the Taliyah doesn't kill him. But what did the Taliyah just do? Taliyah just stopped him getting any tower plates. More minion waves for free. Just stopped him. So, yes, it's bad that Renekton gave that kill. But she's lessened the hurt of that mistake, if you will. So, that's, again, what you need when you're playing Renekton. And yes... having Taliyah being so top lane centric this game, you'll notice bot lane is not doing amazing. You know, they're 3-2, they're not doing bad, but Twitch is 40 farm down. Like, that's not good. And if they had a Taliyah going there, probably the Twitch would not be 40 farm down. But Taliyah has been so top lane centric this game, she is. And that's the point, is when you've got a Renekton, you have to be top lane centric. So also worth knowing, like I was mentioning about the tank builds, you'll see what item Renekton is buying, and this may surprise some people, but yes, he is buying, most likely, Sunfire. Once again, damage in League of Legends is still incredibly high on base. Also, items like Blade of the Ruined King are doing too much damage, or giving too much damage for one item. So it's allowing champions, even like a Renekton, to build their Mythic as a pure tank item, rather than, you know, the supposed... bruiser item that that Renekton is supposed to buy. It's just so strong. And again, it's not the fact that Sunfire is strong. Remember, they've nerfed the item. They've nerfed the damage of it. It's not the item. It's the base damage fundamentally in League of Legends is still really high. Just reminding everyone, in the durability update, that's what it was. It wasn't a damage nerf. It was a durability update. The damage is still exactly the same. It's still very, very high damage. So when you combine the high damage that is still in the game with especially items that do true damage, that get through the resistances that Riot added to the game, it doesn't really matter. It's still a lot of damage. So that's kind of the point. So that's why you're seeing, you know, Katarinas by Divine Sunderer, true damage. That's why you're seeing people buy Blade of the Ruined King that normally don't. That's why. It's because true damage is very strong, because that enables the already high base damage further. So clearing that ward that Udyr just put down, you know, again, people kind of sometimes forget that vision wins games. You having vision of an area that the enemy team doesn't could make your team get a pick, that then could get you Baron, that then get you the inhibitor, and then that gives you the game. So never forget that, you know, it's very important. So Udyr going to try and run away. I'm pretty sure he can get away relatively for free. I'm going to be honest, he's got Ghost still available, but you can see even in the trades when Udyr attacks, there's no substance to it, because one, he's not building any damage, he doesn't have much damage, but Renekton is also kind of tanky. That's the thing. He's kind of a tank now as well. I will say with this Renekton, it's completely understandable, but he's taking a lot of tower hits. Why is it understandable? Because he's having to play aggro. You know, he's having to go a step too further or a step too far just to try and get that damage off. So he's coming in for a gank. He doesn't dodge it, but he's got Mercury Treads, so he can just do that. Not really get CC'd at all, because Mercs are very good like that. Sylas looking for the Wukong. It is also worth mentioning, obviously, the team as a whole, mid lane has done fine, jungle has done well, and again, bot lane's had a rough farming game, but they've done well anyway. You also might notice, yes, Twitch is also a Blade of the Ruined King user. Caitlyn is not. So that is, once again, like another advantage that some AD carries have over the others. Either if you're a pure crit AD carry, you can probably do quite well at the moment, or if you're a on-hit Blade of the Ruined King Kraken AD carry, you can do quite well. There's not really much in between at the moment. So yeah, Rift Herald being done by Renekton should be a thing more top laners, I would say, should prioritize. Rift Herald, you know, a lot of top lane is still very much split focus or win your 1v1 or duelist focus. Win your 1v1, continue pushing. Well, if you win your 1v1 and keep pushing and you have a Rift Herald, it's not just, oh, I got a tower. It's suddenly, hey, I got an inhib. So Udyr is trying to make a play happen. You know, I do feel for the guy. It's not been the best game for him. He's trying his best to make something happen. And the moment he tries to make a play happen, well, Sylas TP'd over. Renekton is still in the area. And the Twitch, who is alone, isn't alone. So it does look like Udyr, he was trying to get executed, but Talia's like, screw that, I'm going to flash and get the kill. I do believe she just got full gold there, because obviously Udyr did get the gold reset based on the Renekton kill. Or near enough full gold. But yeah. Alright, so mid lane push is happening. Twitch coming in over onto the Caitlyn, and Renekton's going to help finish that kill, but Twitch will finish it himself. Very nice. Good play by Rakan. Again, a champion I would say who is actually pretty good, but you just don't see a lot of is Rakan. Sylas gets the Wukong. Again, very strong champion Sylas as always. And now the mid lane push is happening. So you're now seeing the mindset shift of Renekton, which is exactly what I've always spoken about. He is an item ahead. It is now mid game. So what is Renekton doing? He is taking the play to the enemy team. Maybe a little bit too much in this instance here. He can ult, I believe. He has ult available. He's going to ult now. The Cassio still does a lot of damage. He is flashing, doing a big amount of damage, and still not dying. Why? Because he's also basically a full tank. He is going to go down now, but with trades happening, it's not too bad. But that's what Renekton's doing. I'm an item ahead. I built that early lane advantage. I'm now going to take that to the map. I'm not just going to stay top lane. I'm not just going to split push because that I fall off. I'm going to take my advantage to my teammates and get them the advantage. That's the whole mindset with a Renekton. That's the mindset with a Pantheon. You know, you ult to go help your team in mid game. That's the point. That's what he does. This is literally the best so far replay I could ever watch, showing people like how Renekton is and how he should be played. This is it. The only thing that I know people may say is, but yeah, he was against an Udyr top lane this game. 100% true, but his playstyle is exactly the same what he should be doing if he was against a Darius or a Fiora. Early game power, having his jungler help, which is part of it, and then having that advantage and then using that advantage around the map. It's literally perfectly what I've always said you need to do on Udyr. Sorry, on Renekton. And that is also why you saw the discrepancy between he's played all the time in pro play, but not played in solo queue at all. Why? Because in pro play, you make a strategy, you're on communications, and you build a strategy going, hey, we're getting Renekton. Our jungler, go top lane a lot, get that advantage, and then Renekton, you can then group with us, use your advantage around the map. You literally build your strategy. That is pro play in a nutshell. Now, I don't know why he's alone there. You shouldn't really be caught and alone. His team is on the weaker side of health, so I think they have overstayed a little bit. Sylas now coming in the area, though. Wukong doing his best, but then did get ulted by, or not ulted, but hit by Talia. Wukong ulting to try and get away. Sylas hits his E. Wukong ghost again trying to get away. And I think he might, unless Sylas is absolute mad lad. Never mind, Talia with an ulti can catch up. Twitch on his way over to Caitlyn, misses her E, and now the Caitlyn is just getting CC'd. That saves the Twitch, and that will be near enough an ace. Again, not an ace, but near enough. So yeah, this is literally perfect. I presume next item for Renekton, if the game went as long, would probably be a Death Stance. Because, again, the shift of mentality has happened. He is a carry, but also not a carry. What Renekton is now is a distraction. If he can kill the AD carry, which he probably can with his item at the moment and his lead, he probably can kill the AD carry. But ultimately, what he wants to do is go big dinosaur form. He needs to use his Rift Herald, by the way, because it's going to get wasted if not. He is pinging to come mid lane to use it. But he is big crocodile dinosaur, middle of a team fight. Rar, hit me instead. Oh, my Twitch onto the side that you're focusing me, not him, is ulting all of you and you're all dying. That's his job. So building tank like he has, but having the balk, and building death stance that makes him not die straight away, that's exactly what he wants to do. So unfortunately a wasted Rift Herald there. Again, he should have used it a little bit earlier. Arguably, you know, the play that we just saw him go into tower here, if he used it just before that play, that would have been good. Renekton is on the Udyr, who's trying to go all in. Rakan kind of just gets one comboed by the Caitlyn. And once again, hey, focus me, not my Twitch. Have the Silas come over as well, and you all would die because you focused a Renekton. And look, even Udyr is stunning a Renekton. Caitlyn is auto-attacking a Renekton. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. That's the whole point. Again, we're seeing exactly what I wanted to show for ages. So, again, if my Clash team is watching this, which they may or may not, I'm completely fine with us picking Renekton. But this is the type of thing we have to do. Our jungler has to go top lane, build that early lead on Shmion's Renekton, and then at mid game, he starts grouping and B's the ultimate distraction for the rest of us to take over team fights. That's how you do this, which is good. You know, again, I like Renekton. He's honestly a really cool champion. He has been nerfed quite heavily. Oh, he nearly died there. He has been nerfed quite heavily because of his popularity in pro play, which obviously also hurt his solo queue. You know, it's always going to. The Baron is now being killed. Enemy team put a ward down. Oh, Udyr just teleported on that ward. Again, that is definitely a frustrated Udyr going absolutely crazy trying to get one solo kill. Same for Wukong. Okay, as Twitch does go down, Wukong is going to go down. Rakan gets a nice pick on the Caitlyn. And the enemy team who thinking, hey, the enemy team is low, we can maybe do something about it, is now actually ultimately near enough all dying. The Cassiopeia is alive, and I would be a little bit scared of her. The Wukong has just rage quit the game, and there is a 4-0 surrender vote. So there we go. Honestly, a really good game to watch. This was a really fun one. It was a really good one, and it exactly shows what I've always, what I've wanted to do and show with Renekton. What my point has always been, if you want Renekton to do this and play well and take over a game, this is how you have to play Renekton in modern day League. And that's ultimately the problem, because it's not all to do with you as Renekton. It's also to do with your team. It's your jungler coming top. It's hell, even your mid laner coming top. It's all about building that early lead on Renekton and then using that strength from the early game you give him in mid game to be the ultimate distraction for then you guys to take over team fights. That is how you play Renekton, and it is very effective. That's why it was so popular in pro play, and that's why it wasn't always great in solo queue, because you can't guarantee your top laner, your jungler to always come top lane in the early game. Maybe they're a jungler that prefers to gank bot lane. That's the point. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the upcoming content. Do let me know what type of champions you would potentially want to see in high rating spectates. Obviously, we are also still doing viewer spectates as well. A lot of you have said that you've enjoyed that series, and I enjoyed doing it. And one of the biggest pleasures that I've actually had from viewer spectates is the viewers coming to me a week or a month later saying, hey, Huz, I've climbed since the video. And several of them have, and that makes me so happy. But that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory.